was, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, the armistice or peace agreement was signed.
This signalled the end of the First World War. This date is now used to remember servicemen and women who died during that war and those since. Throughout cities, towns and villages across the country, people gather at special memorials in their local community and lay wreaths or poppies and join in services of remembrance.
Everyone observes a 2-minute silence at the same time, 11 a.m. This gives us a chance to say thank you silently and together and reflect on how war affects us all. Remembrance Day is a time to remember those who have died, sacrificing their lives to ensure that we remain a free country. Those who fought in the armed services and gave their lives for the rest of us and our futures.
It's the time to remember those people who continue to fight for our safety and freedom. It is a time to think about those who have been injured by war and imagine how it has changed their lives. It is also a time to think about families of servicemen and women who have to say goodbye to loved ones or support them as they recover from the effects of war.
Discoverers would now like to tell you the story of the poppies. During the First World War in 1914 to 1918, much of the fighting took place in Western Europe. Previously, beautiful countryside was blasted, bombed and fought over. The landscape swiftly turned to the fields of mud, wheat and garden fields, where little or nothing could grow.
In Flanders or Belgium, where many thousands of people died, the first flower that took seed and grew after this destruction was the poppy. In the spring of 1915, shortly after losing a friend in Ypres, a Canadian doctor, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, was inspired by the sight of the poppies to write a now famous poem called In Flanders Fields.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row. At mark our place, and in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now long and speaks. Take up our call with the flag, to from pagan hands we throw. The torch is yours to hold it high. If you have great faith with us, we die. We shall not sleep, though poppies going down the fields. McCrae's poem in turn inspired the American Navy, mooring the Michael, to make handmade red silk poppies which were then brought to England by a French lady, Anne Boleyn.
The Royal British Legion, formed in 1921, ordered 9 million of the poppies which they sold on the 11th of November that year.
The poppies sold out almost immediately and raised a large amount of money for the British Legion to use. Poppies have been used ever since to remind us of the war and the sacrifice of those who died.
Please join us as we pray. Dear God, we want to say thank you for all those who have fought and died for the freedom we enjoy today. We remember the past conflicts, but we also remember all those who are fighting and dying in the current war. We remember to the families and friends and ask that you will give comfort to them. Teach us to be compassionate and caring people, ever mindful of the needs of others.
We will remember all.
Amen.
For the fallen, they shall grow not old, as we that are left to grow